Everybody ready? Come on, let's go. The Rick Thorne Show! Let's go! The Rick Thorne Show! Let's go!
Yo, what is up? This is Rick Thorne. Welcome to my show. I'm glad you're here. Jeff, I always like the intro. I comment on it every time. It gets me pumped up knowing that I'm the man.
The legend.
I'm the legend means your dad. I say it every episode. This is a great episode. I'm so stoked on my guest. We've been friends for a very long time. He's like, man, he's a survivor. He's a freestyle motocross rider. He's an awesome dude. I'm so stoked that he's here. Give it up for the one and only Colin Morrison. Colin! Oh, we could be brothers, bro.
We could. And my sidekick Ruger brought
Ruger.
this guy.
And
You're
Ruger's
in.
here.
You're in, buddy. You're in.
Your security's here, Ruger.
But yeah, man, pumped,
Sorry I
dude.
messed up the intro for you, Rug dog.
It's all right, buddy. Next time.
Such a cool dog, dude. Awesome.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, we could be like brothers.
I feel like we could.
We dress kind of the same. We've been in the same thing. We've been friends. We're tattooed.
2 wheels,
You know?
bicycle, dirt bike, same deal.
Same thing.
I was thinking how we met on the way down here. You know, just thinking the last couple decades being friends with you. I think it was probably Warped Tour, I feel like.
I think it was, or was it that TV show 54321? Remember that one?
I remember that. I think
I feel like I interviewed you, and it might have been Warped Tour. I remember I feel like I met you with Twitch.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's classic. Yeah, I haven't heard that show in a long time.
Remember when you were doing Twitch? And
Yeah,
Scummy?
yeah. That was back then. But yeah, I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was Warped Tour. But yeah, a lot of good times with you, man.
Dude, Warped Tour was cool, right?
It was probably the best time of my life. That's the first time I went on it. I think I was, 17.
Was that your first big tour?
Yeah, I think like freestyle motocross really kicked off probably a year or two before that when I did my first jump show. But my first jump show was actually like the first jump show in the sport of freestyle moto. It was like I was there and did like the very first one.
Where was that at?
Actually, kind of maybe the second one. The first one was in Las Vegas in 1998.
So when you say jump show, so people listen, that was like ramp to ramp, right?
The very, very first one, that was in Vegas. There was no such thing as ramps at that point.
So it was dirt to dirt.
Dirt to dirt, yeah.
So a freestyle motocross show, dirt to dirt, first one. Do you remember what it was called?
It was, dude, I couldn't even tell you.
Back then they had funny names.
Yeah, I did.
Like, the crazy freestyle dudes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think they
That's kind of a
called
cool
it
name
freestyle motocross at that point. You know, but I did the first jump series. It was 4-Leaf Entertainment. It was Tacoma, Washington, Lake Havasu, and then Vegas.
You're saying contest series.
Contest, but that was the first one of its kind, and that was still before ramps came in to the sport. You remember when Travis Pastrana did that huge, like 140-foot jump on a 125? It was one of his famous crashes. He dislocated his spine from his hip. Yeah, I was on that deal, but yeah, I think it was just like the right time, right place, how I got in there. And that's like, it's kind of
What do you think? I say that too to people because they're always like, because we're trying to, right now, action sports is kind of like in a sense of like, I know BMX and skating and freestyle motocross has always been smaller.
Yeah.
Because, you guys are gnarly. Okay,
Yeah.
period. But everyone's trying to figure out like to keep these sports going, to figure out an angle. And I'm all for it. Like, hey, this is what we love to do. But at that time when we met in the late 90s, early 2000s, it was like that. Everyone could feel it in the air that like this is the next big thing. Did you feel that way with what you were doing?
100%. I remember the first X Games, they didn't have dirt bikes at that time. So I remember like after the skating, whatever, BMX, when we started our dirt bikes, I just remember everybody came to our side because they weren't used to it,
Yeah.
It was just a really big deal. It was so cool back in the day because now what they're doing, it's a whole different level from back in the day, like double, triple backflips, like the craziest shit ever. But
You're
back
saying on dirt
then,
bikes?
On dirt bikes, yeah. Because we were like inventing stuff as we were going, There's no such thing as freestyle motocross. I mean,
or the big foam pits.
Yeah.
Or the padded ramps or the air ramps.
Yeah.
Not taking away from the tricks, but that stuff does help with your landing.
100%. Yeah. I mean, back then you had to land it or you were done. I remember on Warped Tour, I think the first year, we didn't even have an airbag at the landing.
No, you didn't.
And, it's like 75 foot. It was ramp to ramp. and it was scaffolding, like the landing. If you came up short, if you forgot to turn your gas on or something went wrong with a bike, like you would be dead for sure.
Yeah, you guys are on the pavement too.
On the pavement, and then we were partying every night so hard. I mean, there's so many nights we didn't even sleep, and we'd get up the next day, do three shows in a day. It was insane that we all survived the Warped Tour.
Yeah, but
Dude,
that could be a shirt. Insane, I survived the Warped Tour.
For sure.
Nowadays, I'm going to back up for a second.
Yeah.
When you said first, we'll talk about all this stuff because it's awesome stories. The first X Games you said didn't have freestyle moto, but guess what they did have? Bungee jumping
and freestyle skydiving too.
Yeah, it's like, come on, dude. They were doing bungee jumping, dude, in a canoe. Like, oh, it's just so. And they called it. They didn't call it the X Games. It was called the Extreme Games.
Extreme Games. I remember that, man. Yeah, that was different times.
Yeah, it was cool. That was '95 though. So then, what? That many years though after when you got on Warped Tour? That must have been like '98, probably, right?
No, that wasn't '98. That was a legendary cast. I know you did it. That was like Carrie Hart, Larry Lynn Coggle.
That was '98.
Mad Mike Jones. I did 2000 to 2003.
There we go. Okay.
And then we did Australian Warped Tour. But yeah, it was, dude, 17 years old, living on a tour bus all summer. Yep. With I looked up to you back then and just looking up to all my favorite punk bands. And then all of them were like looking up to us because some of the days we were jumping over the stage and yeah, I don't know.
Dude, those were rad days. I remember you guys were jumping over the stage.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then, just partying and I don't know. It was insane.
But you rode BMX before you rode moto.
BMX was my life. BMX was everything. You were one of my heroes because it started, my dad took me to a Supercross race, just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I was playing baseball, just like a normal kid. And he just took me to a Supercross race. He never rode dirt bikes. I mean, he had a bike when he was a kid, but nothing, just a normal weekend. And after I saw my first dirt bike, it was like a spiritual awakening for me. That's what I knew after that. I saw my first dirt bike. Like, that's what I'm going to do the rest of my life. I'm going to be a pro dirt bike rider. And then I bugged my dad.
You're blessed with that, though, because most people don't find that, bro.
Me and my wife talk about that a lot. Just like work with a lot of people and addiction and stuff. Like, if you're a kid and you don't have that, motivation or inspiration, I just feel it makes growing up a lot harder, because for me, it was just easy. I mean, I woke up, thought about, I want to become a pro. When I get home, it drove me, and then my dad didn't give me a dirt bike for like 4 years. So the next best thing was BMX. And yeah, BMX was my life. BMX raced. I mean, even when I got into riding, BMX was my life just for a decade,
And down in Simi, there was a lot of dirt jumps and probably
and then there's a BMX track off Sycamore. That was a big one.
Oh, that's
and then
right.
That's all we did. I mean, as kids, we would just shovel jumps until, dude, the lights came on until it got dark, drinking out of water hoses, just hanging out with the boys, building
whatever happened
jumps,
to drinking
dude.
out
I
of
know.
hoses, bro. We did the same thing. We turned out normal.
Of course, dude. Look at us.
Hey, so do you think being a BMX bike rider helps? Because I noticed a lot of guys rode BMX and freestyle moto. I think. Do you think that helped when it came to doing tricks? Like, I did a 1-footer on a BMX before.
Yeah.
I could probably do it on my dirt bike.
1,000%. Yeah, 1,000%. It carries over, and even like mountain bike riding, just kind of anything with two wheels, dude.
Yeah, because you ride a lot of mountain bikes too.
Yeah, mountain bikes every day, BMX, dirt bikes, just on them. Like two wheels, man, going big. So
then that transition from you to go from BMX to moto, obviously it's a big thing because you have a motor and it's a bike, but you were kind of already used to being around on two wheels and stuff. So
it helps so much in every aspect, I feel like. But yeah, my dad got me a dirt bike and then kind of just off to the races, man. It was
So did you start off racing first? Because a lot of dudes started racing.
Yeah. I started, because back then there was no such thing as freestyle motocross. I just looked up to Jeremy McGrath and the Supercross riders because that's all it was. But back then it was such a different deal, it was like very corporate. Like there's no like rock and roll, like Seth Enslow and Crusty Demons of Dirt. That wasn't even around yet, So I got into racing, and it was like a father and son time, dude. We just go to the tracks every day after school, racing on the weekends. I, started to elevate, and then Crusty Demons of Dirt, the movie, came out in '98. And that's where I saw this whole different life, like Seth Enslow, like the baggy gear, partying the chicks, and just going big on a dirt bike. And then that's what I want to do.
Like,
I don't want to be a racer.
Racing, because you had to train. Because being a competitive racer is gnarly.
Yeah.
It's really very super demanding on your body. You got to be in mad shape.
Yeah.
And train for that, right?
Yeah.
Freestyle moto, you got to train, but it's probably different.
Yeah, but back then there was no training. I just wanted to go big on a dirt bike and just
What I'm saying is that the lifestyle was different. Like
Oh,
this,
100%.
Because what I'm trying to get at is this is exactly what BMX was.
Yeah.
I used to race BMX, and we would go to the BMX track, but we would do tricks in the parking lot.
Yeah, yeah.
And they would frown upon us. And then when we started to get bigger, they started to put us in the category with racing. And we're like, no, dude, we're not racers. We're freestylers, bro. We're a different world. We're not just about racing. We respect that, but you need to respect this.
Yeah.
So did you feel that way with freestyle moto?
100%. That's exactly what it was. Like, when we came about, the racers hated us, like the whole racing industry, because they were like,
going big, you were getting the chicks.
So corporate. Yeah, we were just like going big, getting the chicks, getting tatted quick,
Dressing all tatted up like rebels.
Yeah, and then we were just getting way more exposure, because it was such a new thing in the sport. Because before that, it was just Supercross, like training, racing, and now it's like we're just going out in the hills with the boys, partying, getting tattooed, hanging with chicks, getting like the freestyle movies of just like the lifestyle were blowing up.
You guys were rock stars, dude. Let's just say it.
It was crazy in the early days.
You guys came out on the
freestyle.
scene, like people were like, what? Like with the Metal Mulisha.
Yeah.
And when did you join Metal Mulisha?
Kind of just like, it wasn't like we joined in. Like, I was there, like I said, in the early days, and it was Deegan and Larry Linkoggle. They were just like the wearing all black, the rebels of freestyle at that point, which it wasn't freestyle. And me and Twitch and Bo Manley, we were already those guys, smoking weed before the contest runs, and we were just the rebels. So we just like we clicked naturally, and then we just all became that group naturally, and just we were all just a gang. And we were just all friends hanging out every day. And then, the Metal Mulisha, dude, took off. But we were doing it when we were spray painting Metal Mulisha on our t-shirts, before it even became so big.
Yeah. Well, you guys definitely come on, Metal Mulisha blew up.
And it was a real deal back then. It wasn't like just for show or like on camera. Like when the cameras weren't on, we were so reckless, and dude, I just can't believe I'm alive right now. But like the shit we did, it was insane. So it was, there was nothing fake about it.
You're saying insane, just like the partying and the lifestyle.
The lifestyle, we were going so big where like people were tripping on us. Like I said, Warped Tour, like all these punk bands I looked up to, they were tripping on us for like how hard we were going off the bikes and then getting on our bikes and just riding. It was just, the lifestyle was so crazy and insane.
Oh, dude, we're way gnarlier. Like, I'm a musician, so I could talk some shit, but we're way gnarlier than playing just a half-hour set on a stage.
100.
I mean, you got to roll in a ramp for an hour and then do a demo and then come back and do all your tricks back to back to back in the hot. I mean, it's way more demanding on your body.
For sure.
No diss on music, because I love music.
Yeah.
But they probably saw you as like, you're looking up to them, and they're like, look, and you don't realize that they start looking up to you. Did that ever feel weird to you?
I don't know. It's just such like,
when people start to look.
Like, 100%.
I love this band, and they're like looking up to me, and I'm just a dude riding a dirt bike. Do you ever feel that way?
I mean, I talk about this a lot, and like a lot of the stuff I do, I never like really grasped that as a kid. I just wanted to become like Seth Enslow and like become a pro dirt bike rider. And I feel like overnight when freestyle hit off, like every weekend we were like different parts of the country, the world, movies, red carpet. It just happened so quick. It was just like, I don't think I could slow down enough to realize like I did it. It's just like I was just going with it. Just going and like trying to just live that lifestyle. And like as time went on and realizing I just got so off track what this was even about. Like riding my dirt bike.
With partying and stuff.
With partying and just like
it caught up to you.
It caught up so quick where I forgot what this was all about.
So let me ask you something. Did you grow up, because we'll talk about your rehab and all the things that you've gone through. But did you grow up partying, or did that lifestyle kind of pull you into that?
Lifestyle pulled me in 100%. I grew up in like, it's crazy even when I speak of rehabs, like a lot of people in addiction, they come from broken homes and like crazy upbringings. I had such an amazing childhood.
Yeah, I met your dad. Your dad's
yeah,
cool.
no,
Yeah.
so best friends with my dad, my mom. They divorced when I was a kid. I think maybe that affected me down the road, but dirt bikes got me out of that. But no, never drank when it was me and my dad just going to the races. No, it was only about dirt bikes. I looked at dudes at school smoking weed, drinking, like, dude, those guys are so gnarly and like scumbags, you know, like,
Yeah.
I just wasn't that dude.
So did you feel like you needed to do that to fit into that crowd?
Maybe a little bit, but I don't know. I just remember like when I started hanging out with the guys and started like going on the road with all my heroes, I don't know. It wasn't like I was trying to fit in. I just remember like my first bong rip and I loved it. I remember started drinking, loved it, you know, at like probably age 16, around all these guys that are so much older than me.
And
the
you're getting
dudes
like attention from people.
Everybody. And it was like so accepted because now it's like the spotlight's on me. We're doing shows, we're going to the after parties, whatever. And that's just what you did. And it was like kind of different back then. And I just loved every minute of it. And that was just like the lifestyle, what it was. And yeah, I loved it. Yeah. Bottom line. But yeah, as a kid, I was never like that. It was only about dirt bikes and wanting to become a pro dirt biker.
I grew up in alcoholic
home.
You either end up drinking or you don't, or drugs, you end up doing
100%. Yeah.
So it was kind of like everything kind of like, it seems like with the attention and with things growing and filling in the air, you just kind of went with the flow.
It just went with the flow, 100%.
So then it eventually caught up to you though.
Yeah, big time.
What do you remember the point where it hit you where you said, I can't do this anymore. I can't take it anymore?
I mean, from, let's say 99, when I maybe 98, when I got into this sport, when like kind of the spotlight was on us.
100% spotlight.
You know, it
was brand new.
Yeah, making a name, getting paid a lot of money to ride my dirt bike, travel the world, never had a job. You know how that is, just like, yeah, rock star lifestyle. You know, I mean, for me, it went on for 13 years. It just elevated. First bong rip, drinking. That's just what you did, you know. On Warped Tour, let's try Coke. All right, I love Coke, but it was never like
Is that where you first did that? Was Warped Tour?
Maybe before that, but yeah, on Warped Tour, it was just like a thing. Some nights we partied harder, and you know, I loved it. But like Warped Tour and these kind of events, you couldn't just like, all right, I'm gonna do Coke the whole next day. You had to like manage it, you know. You had to do just enough to like get through the next day ride. So
it's funny because when I hear you tell the stories about this, I've never done drugs.
Yeah,
and
I know.
We talked about that before, and a lot of people, I'm gonna say this drug account, don't believe me because I'm just hyper.
Yeah, I love that.
But
I look up to you for that.
I have never I have no idea what that's about.
Yeah,
at all.
It's crazy.
I'm just wired like spastic.
I feel like you either have like the allergy of like being an addict or you don't. You know, some people could just like maybe do a line of Coke or get drunk and like not want to do that ever again. And I don't know.
Do you think the addiction with riding and this thing about like, you know, the adrenaline and you said, you know, maybe riding helped you cope with like your parents, but that you really just love riding basically. Yeah. So you had an addiction to that. Was there a point? It sounds to me like it went from the riding and the addiction went into the party. Yeah,
I think like it was always so hard for me to shut that switch off. Even after jump shows, everyone goes to the after party, the chicks, the party, and like it was so hard for me to shut that off. You know, I loved it so much. It's like, let's just keep it going all night long. Like I was that dude where I kept it going. When other dudes like would shut it off, all right, going to bed, gotta ride tomorrow, I would just keep it going. Always, you know, I just loved it.
Yeah.
It went on through injuries, I got my spleen out. I mean, you know, as our world, you get hurt. That's part of it. Injuries stacking on, pain pills. And then like for me, when I would get hurt, I would like it, you know, because it's like, all right, I get a break, pain pills. And then it was just, I loved the feeling of pain pills. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not that good. They're poison.
They are poison. Yeah,
I've never taken them. I used to get them.
It's crazy.
Just, I would.
We trip on people like you. You don't have the allergy. You know.
Dude, I remember I was on tour and I got hurt and I had a big bottle of like Vicodin or something. I didn't even. And then next thing I hear on the door.
Yeah.
Dude's knocking on the door. Hey,
no,
man.
Ruger, it's fine.
Ruger, it's fine. They're like, hey, what are you gonna do with this Vicodin, bro? I was like, you could have them. And then people would trip out. Like,
you would have been my best friend back then.
No, dude, I don't want them. Like, just take them.
Yeah, it's crazy how that is. How you like either have that or.
Well, I learned a long time ago is this: the way that you deal with pain in life is you deal with it and you face it, whether it's emotional or physical. But what I learned this real quick, emotional pain weighs heavier than physical pain. Emotional pain is super heavy and is a lot less. Our bodies are tough.
Yeah.
Because your mind controls the body. So I would always tell myself, like, my mind's going to get past this. My mind has to accept this, then it's fine because the mind's in control.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't the other way around with me. That's why I just learned to push the pain out and say, I don't deal with it. People trip out when I say that, but it's like, you just do.
I mean, I know I'm 42 years old and I'm like learning that as, you know, this late in my life, I guess.
Yeah, but you learn.
Call like the king voice and the bitch voice, I guess, in my head, like for real. Because that bitch voice, it's like when I have a problem in life, no matter what it is, like for me, that bitch voice was so loud in my head. Go get pills. Go get this to like numb that shit out. Instead of like, you're talking about this king voice. Like, face it. Like, no, I can get through this shit. I can go on a run. I can reach out. I never had that. Yeah. I would just know how to like numb it out. And like, that's all I knew. And for some reason, that's the only thing my head would tell me to do. I don't know. It took me down a lot of shit. I don't even want to get into all the war stories, but I lost everything, dude. I think the backflip came about in freestyle motocross. That's when, in the beginning, it was like Motley Crue, rock and roll. We could do whatever we want, and like it was just
Superman seat grab craze.
Yeah,
let's go.
like let's go.
Yeah.
Backflip came about.
Yep.
That's when it changed everything. That's when like freestyle motocross really blew up worldwide, and when the backflip came out, people knew like, fuck, we could take this serious and start making real money. I was over it. I'm like, dude, no way. I could never see. And like, I was so anti-contest racing. I want to be like the rebel. What freestyle motocross was about, going bigger than everybody, shutting the parties down, and just like the fucking bad boys of moto, you know?
So you're saying the sport started to change and you didn't change
and
with
be like
it.
more corporate, and I just wasn't about it. I wasn't
But
about the
you've always been
backflip.
really a distance jumper too, though.
Well, I like going big. I was like, it felt it came more natural to me, but like you can only do so many. Like I would always be in like the magazines and the movies for going big, but that's not longevity where you're going to like go to contests and they're going to have a huge jump, whatever. So that only took me so far. And I felt like I just had that in my pocket. So I didn't have to do the backflip. I'm fucking over the backflip. I'm just going to go big. That only goes so far, you know. All my friends really like Deegan, Twitch, all the guys really started to elevate, started going so much bigger, and I just kind of started to plateau. Always showing up to events with the Metal Mulisha, the name was so big, always doing events and shit, but it just kind of started going downhill for me. I remember
because the level of tricks changed. And the competition changed.
Tricks change, and I feel if I wouldn't have went down the partying alley, I would have 100%. I had the talent to go out and like practice, get better, do gnarlier shit.
Did that intensify the drug use though, by knowing that like these guys are learning these tricks and going in this direction and I'm over here? Did that subconsciously feel like, did that make you want to do drugs more?
I mean, at
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
no, like
at one point when it was too far for me, like in the beginning, if I would have like caught that, I feel maybe I could have slowed down to like figure my life out and figure out like, dude, this isn't going good for me, the direction, but I just kept it going.
Got it.
You know,
Yeah.
It got bad. I found a doctor. He was prescribing us 120 Norcos, 80 Somas, and 80 Xanax every 2 weeks.
Damn.
For some reason in my head, when I'm like, dude, the doctor prescribed that, my name's on it, you know? In my sick head, as like
justifying it.
Yeah, my best friend died in my truck.
Oh wow.
Going to go pick up to refill our script every 2 weeks. That's what the doctor was doing.
Died from the drugs?
Yeah, he OD'd in the back of my truck. Yeah, it was crazy. And then the Metal Mulisha.
Did that wake you up any? Here's
the thing. After that, we were filming a pilot for MTV of the Metal Mulisha. So yeah, Deegan, they called me over. They're like, dude, come over. We're filming at our house. And I was just like, this was right after my friend died in my truck. I show up and it's like all the Metal Mulisha guys, all the top dudes in freestyle, Fletcher and Byron from Pennywise, which every day to this day, I always tell them like, thank you. Like just, I love you guys for who you are, but like for being my friends, because they like drove far to be there for an intervention. I didn't know. I thought I was walking in, we were going to film, and it was like all of them in a big
I never
circle.
knew this. Okay,
Yeah.
so they tricked you. They said, "Come over."
They
we'll
tricked
film
me.
it."
They bamboozled me. Thought we were gonna film and
But they didn't. They did you a favor.
they did me a huge favor,
Yeah.
and I manipulated my way out. I don't need rehab, and I think about this a lot, dude. Like, what if I would have like got help? They were gonna pay for rehab, and like all my true friends, the dudes that like we became famous together, were like brothers. You know, like they were there for me, and I like shut them all out. It's sad. Because I feel like if I would have
But it
got,
wasn't you. It was the drugs.
it was just like
Right?
it was,
Don't
yeah,
people say it
yeah,
like that?
I didn't even think about like, dude, I didn't even think sobriety wasn't even in my like mind. Like, I can get sober, I can get my shit back. It just wasn't. I don't know. It's weird. So I think, what if I would have got sober, did the backflip, I broke my neck or died? Who knows? Like, life happened the way it did. I said I didn't need it, left, and my life just started to go downhill even further after that. Wow. You know, it just like started losing sponsors, started losing everybody. Everybody just kind of gave up on me. I was doing what I had to do to show up to events. I remember a couple jump shows. I would like purposely over jump the first jump by so far just to like pretend I got hurt. Where like normally maybe you could get hurt, but I just
so
would
you
pull.
could get prescription drugs.
Well, just so I could like didn't have to ride. I would just
Oh.
say like I hurt myself, and then you know, maybe the paramedic would give me some. I don't know. I did that a bunch, dude. It was just like crazy.
So you would act, so you got paid to do a gig and then you would say I got hurt just
Yeah.
to make the money so you didn't have
Make
to
the
ride.
money, didn't have to ride, because I knew like I didn't have any tricks. I was just kind of, they wanted me there for my name. I didn't want to look like an idiot not doing the tricks. And then, dude, it just got bad, man. Yeah.
Do you remember where you hit the absolute rock bottom where you're like, this needs to stop?
Yeah, I got a DUI and third DUI at the time. You know, I like in the past, this was probably 14 years maybe of just going so big. And like, it's just crazy how like, as a kid, I just wanted to become a dirt bike rider. Me and my dad going to the races, father and son, like just wanted to become a dirt bike rider. And I did it. Traveled the world,
You did it.
got a name, didn't even realize I made it where I wanted to be. And just drugs took everything from me, dude, until like, I lost everything until, I got that DUI, and it was crazy because like I had like a house in Temecula, had everything. And then at age 30, I was back in my dad's house with nothing to my name, back in my childhood room. It was crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. And I just
Full
remember
circle.
full circle, dude, back in my dad's house at age 30 with nothing to my name. And it was crazy. I went to rehab. My dad took me to rehab, which was like a big deal. Just saying that word rehab, you know, because I always manipulated my dad and my parents because I was always on the road, or like I lived in Murrieta, like 3 hours from them. And I would always say how good I'm doing, you know.
Yeah.
They never knew how bad it was. And then, I went to rehab, and that
So
was
your dad took you.
yeah, he finally, I called him and just like crying and just like, I can't do this. I want to be dead. Like, I'm done with dirt bikes. I'm done with everything. And then, it was like a really gnarly, it's a crazy story, that alone. But my dad, it was powerful, man. Took me to rehab, and that was crazy. And
So what was that like?
2012, it was crazy.
That's the first time you'd ever been to any
First
kind
time,
of counseling or rehab or
I
anything.
never looked up to anybody sober. Like, sobriety just wasn't even a thing. I didn't look up to anybody sober. I remember Nikki Sixx was like, I picked up his book. He kind of showed me what sobriety was like, dude. He's like, sober, and you can make sobriety cool. And I don't know, I got out, and it was just like, I truly felt like I was reborn, because I realized I have not been 100% sober in like 12 years. So I just remember everything was new to me. Like, it really felt like I was reborn. I remember like the day out of rehab, the first day when I was in sober living, I got out, I got to go on a run. And like, it was just the most magical experience ever. Like, just for feeling emotions and like seeing everything, because I realized how I was so numbed out to everything.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And then I just, started to get my life back. It was cool. It's like restarting everything, bro. Like, I got my first job, but it was fun for me.
What was that?
I think I was like putting in windows and doors with my friend from rehab. Then I started printing shirts, but I like almost forgot mentally that I was this one guy over here that like
Was the big star.
was a
moto
big
guy.
star. Yeah, I was just like, dude, getting a first. It was crazy. And then like shit started coming back. I got a dirt bike again. And now my name started to like kind of get big because like, dude, Scummy's sober. And I started, you know, talking about sobriety and social media. And I was so pumped on sobriety. Like, I feel like I put all my addiction into drugs. I put all my addiction into like being healthy and like trying to give back and trying to help others and like just preaching about sobriety, man. Like
it's weird. It's not weird. Nothing's weird. I don't mean to say weird, but your story is like opposite than like what you would think a traditional like athlete or musician or someone that had the success would be. Usually they have the success and then they go to drugs, right? And their life, because in yours, like you were doing it during the time where you had all the success, and now you found your life is better now. I feel like.
Yeah, and I don't even think and I don't even think I got to success. I feel like it kills me because I feel like I could have done so much more. I feel like my name got big, but I never really did. I got like a 3rd place at Step Up at X Games. It was more just, I feel my name was bigger just for like this rock and roll dude partying and riding. It was never for like, you know, and going big on a bike, I guess.
But I think in action sports, because I can speak for myself, I've been riding 40 years. I never feel satisfied.
Yeah.
It's a split. It's only temporary. Oh, that's a cool photo. And then once you post that photo, you're back to like searching to find something else. I think that's how you are. Is like every day I remember I interviewed Tony Hawk and he was like, yeah, every day I wake up and just kind of looking for that like thing. Yeah. Looking for that thing. I think that's just what we are, what we do.
Yeah. No.
You know, so probably that's why you never really felt like, oh, I'm accomplished, because I still don't feel that way. Yeah. You know, you feel like you could be better.
Yeah. You know? 100%.
100%. So then what was that like? So then you got into rehab, you got a job.
And then I started like get my name back for like being the sober guy. And then like I started working for this rehab, promoting the rehab. I started a podcast talking sobriety. I was the host of Recovery Today magazine, like interviewing all these celebrities that are sober now. So I just really started to like become this guy in the sobriety world, but there's a kick to all this. And then, my dad got stage 4 cancer. Oh, wow. I had to take over his business. He's like alive, doing good, but like I had to be there for him. It was like really tough, but I did that all through my sobriety. And like I took over his business, doing all this stuff for sobriety. But here's the thing in all this is my ego was so big in this sobriety world. I never was doing any work. I never did any of the work while I was doing the drugs and like any of my deep issues. I just had this, like, I was riding this pink cloud of like getting everything back, getting my first truck back, getting my name back, helping all these people, like getting people into rehab, saving lives, and like working for Sobriety magazine. I was like doing good things, but I was never doing any of the work for myself. And then,
you mean like the steps and all that?
Yeah, steps, just doing anything for myself. I was just like,
sobriety's cool.
I was just helping everybody, getting people into rehab, telling people how great sobriety was. Like, if I can do it, you can do it, whatever. And this went on for the next 8 years, whatever. And then that bitch voice we were talking about before.
Oh, so were you partying during that time?
100% sober. I just wasn't doing any of the true work in sobriety, like steps, having a sponsor, like diving into like what the true core of my issues were, why I did drugs for so long. I never did that. I was just like so pumped on sobriety and helping people. And then, one day I just went to the doctor's office, dentist's office, had to get a tooth pulled. And they're like, and before this time, I never thought I would like relapse. I would talk shit. I'm like, how could you relapse? Like, that's crazy. Like, my life's going so good. And the dentist, they just said, can prescribe you 15 Norcos. And I just remember like some of the meetings I went to, they're like, well, if you take them as prescribed, you're not going to mess your sobriety up. So I'm like, I'll get the 15. And I never told anybody, because now I'm like this host in the recovery. I'm getting paid from this rehab. I'm doing all this shit.
You're an example of like,
I'm an example. This is my name like got big for being this positive role model now. And I feel like my addiction was doing push-ups in my head, waiting for this moment. And that's why, like, when you're truly in recovery, you got to do the true work it entails so this shit doesn't happen.
So when something like that pops up, you got to be like,
you got your bag of tools. I didn't have shit. I just remember if you take them as prescribed, you're not going to ruin your sobriety. So,
Took them. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just remember when those ran out, I'm going to go get one more bottle. That's it. After that, one more. After that, one more. I'd go into urgent cares and tell them, dislocated my shoulder. I need some Norcos. They'd prescribe them.
So you were right back in the mix.
Right back at it. But this time I felt like I had the biggest monkey in my back because I can't tell anybody now. Everybody looks up to me for being sober. I got my life
You're
back.
doing this podcast and all this stuff.
I just changed my life. Everybody looks up to me for being sober, getting my life back. And that, like I said, that fed my ego. Everyone's like, dude, I'm so proud of you. You saved my life. You're helping my kid. You know, I look up to you and it was just felt good being this positive role model. But now I'm secretly back at it. And I didn't want to. This wasn't fun for me. It wasn't like back in the day where I can go do an event, do a line of Coke, and then just like everyone's, it wasn't like that. It was like, I can't believe I'm back at it. And it just like carried on so much where now it's like, if I stop taking them, I'm dope sick. So now it's like, first of all, I can't believe I'm here. Second of all, I can't let anybody know because my ego's too big. I can't tell anybody that I'm struggling now because look at all the people I'm helping. I'm getting paid now from this. If I was doing the real work, that wouldn't be a thing. I would, of course, reach out. But yeah, my ego carried me on for the next 3 years. I lied to everybody. Being the head of this Recovery Day magazine, I remember I interviewed Nikki Sixx, the guy that like I read his book and I looked up to him. He changed my life for being sober. I interviewed him and I got to tell him like full circle, like, dude, you saved my life. But I was under the influence. I was like taking shit. It was twisted, dude. This is like twisted
so you were
shit.
high even though
I was high, yeah. And I didn't know what to do. I remember like nights I was so depressed, like just having the biggest monkey on my back. Just, I don't know what to do. You know, I can't stop talking about sobriety. I can't stop doing this because then people are going to be like, what's up? I can't tell anybody I need help because people would look, people would look down at me and they would, think I'm a failure. So I just kept on going and, yeah.
So then what did you end up doing?
I was trying to figure out every concoction to like get off the opiates, like maybe take a weed gummy, maybe take a part of a Xanax to like not be dope sick. Because when you're on pain pills and when you're like addicted, you can't, it's like the worst. If you stop it, the dope sick, you've heard of that?
Yep.
It's the worst pain and the worst anything. And like, wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, but it was just,
you're having withdrawals. So then
withdrawals were too much. So just trying to figure out how I can do this on my own, but I can't do it on your own. And then, I just remember one day I was going to work and, I took a piece of a Xanax to try and like, all right, maybe I can do this to not be dope sick. Dude, I woke up in jail, dude.
Whoa, what happened?
Fuck. I pray on my knees every night to this day about, how I didn't kill anybody. But yeah, a cop found me slunched over in my truck, parked. I OD'd pretty much. Like it was laced with fentanyl.
Oh,
and woke up the next day in jail, and then it was a crazy experience. To fast forward,
So when that happened, I'm gonna jump past this, but okay, so now you're exposed. Now they're like, okay.
And I was open about it. I went on my social media, like very emotional. It's crazy. I had so much support, But at that time, I didn't tell people. I was like, for the past couple of years, I was using. I just told people like, dude, I relapsed. I'm going to rehab. I was going to take that to the grave.
You were still kind of like dumbing it down.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big deal for me to be, in my recovery now, like it's completely different. Actually doing the work.
Did people OGs, not I can say OGs, but people that have been in recovery for a while, did they see through that though?
I think a couple people, but I felt, I think now knowing a couple people like knew something, but it was just this game to like, that's my problem. I'm very functioning addict. I wasn't doing it to get high to have fun. It was just doing enough not to be dope sick.
Got it.
And then I went to rehab. It was a crazy deal. And then to fast forward, I get out of that rehab. I decide I want to do like the steps, get a sponsor, but not all the way in. Maybe this time I'm gonna try it 1 foot in. I come back out. A really crazy thing happened in my life I don't want to talk about, but I relapsed again. And this is a point I'm like giving up, dude. And then I get back out, and then it's kind of where I'm at today. I think what really saved my life is my wife now, because at the time she's like the first woman I've never like been into just because I get into really horrible relationships, just like going for the hot chicks and like I'll figure it out if we can manage. But she was the first one that I wasn't like into just because how hot she was. I don't know. Her dad died from addiction. Her brother's dealing with it. She's never been an addict. And she was like the first person I feel that I
thought I turned this ringer off.
It's all right, man.
No, it's just I don't know what's going on. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, she was the first person in my life I feel like I could have been like truly open with about a lot of the deep-seated issues I had in my life. And I don't know. She just like, I just feel I was always like, always doing shit to please other people and like never really figuring out what the core shit was going on in my life, you know? Yeah.
So she's been a big support, obviously.
The biggest support ever. And then after that, you know, I couldn't do it my way. My way sucked every time. I found a sponsor. I started doing the steps in recovery. And now, yeah, dude, my whole life has changed. You know, I'm sponsoring guys now. I'm kind of own part of a rehab right now, Oak Forest Recovery. And now
where's that at?
It's in Thousand Oaks.
Okay.
Just a really amazing rehab. It's not like it's everybody that works there's recovering addict and alcoholic, and they're just they really care about their clients, and I just back them so hard. And like where I'm at in my recovery in my life now, it's like I realize ego is the biggest killer for me. It was always like trying to impress everybody else, like how good I'm doing, or like what I don't know. I feel like since I was 16, it was always like in the spotlight, you know, always for other people.
Well, they have said before, ego kills.
Ego does kill, yeah. And I finally had to put my ego down and like do this shit for myself. And I put a lot of work into myself doing the steps, and it took me a long time. It took me 12 years, and like there's so many other mistakes and like pitfalls even to get me here, dude. You know, I just know like having a sponsor and doing it not my way. I just I put the white flag up. I'm going to do everything you want me to do, and like do it the way the 12 steps has been attended for the last 100 years. And it's changed my life, man. I'm sponsoring dudes, and that means like I meet up with a guy and we read the big book together at Starbucks or coffee. And that's like something I would never do back in the day. You know,
you say big book, you're saying what do you
big
mean?
book of AA. It's AA. Like what we work out of, you know, and that's just taking somebody else through what I went through.
Yeah.
You know, once you get to the 12 steps, that's what the big thing in recovery is. You now give back and you help somebody else. In my past, it was only about me, cameras on me, the microphone, look at like using my name to help other people when I wasn't really helping other people. Now it's like I'm doing shit without the camera. You know, I'm doing it for like the real
reasons.
Yeah. And dude, my whole life's changed, bro. Like it's not really.
I've seen it. I mean, I've known you a long time, so I've seen your life completely change. Remember back when we were, I'm not going to say the clothing sponsor, but remember back when we had a clothing sponsor together?
Yeah.
In Vegas?
Yeah.
You were having a hard time there.
Yeah, no, I feel like I was around you a lot with a lot of hard time.
And I've seen you grow. I've seen the part of you, and I've seen you now. And I'll just say this right now: when you walked in, you have a different glow about you that you never had before.
Yeah, no, you've been with me, I think, through so many stages of my life, and I feel like you're one of few people that we've been here since day one. And I remember talking to you like a lot of heart-to-heart talks, dude. And like I've always looked up to you for like not having that allergy and just going out there and living the best life and just being so animated.
But I look
like
up
it's
to you
rad.
in a way. Thank you, but I look up to you in a way of a person that never gave up. That's a survivor.
Yeah,
that survived all that and knows the difference.
Yeah,
and to me that's motivating.
Yeah,
to me that's inspiring to be like, oh shit, you could like change your life if you really want to. But luckily, things didn't happen to you to where. I mean, I guess it did. I guess you died.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess at a certain point in time, you hit that rock bottom where things got to change. You're done.
I think the biggest thing is like just never giving up, because I went to rehab 3 times. I could have easily gave up this first one, second one. And if I would have like gave up the second one or whatever, or if I didn't do that other relapse, I wouldn't be here exactly where I am. And it's like I said, it's not about the riding. It's just like the peace I have in my head that I don't care what anyone thinks. I do what, dude, a good weekend for me is like me and my wife walking around the mall or walking at the beach, bro. You know, I surf every day. I ride mountain bikes. I go big on my bikes, but like it's about the peace because there's so much like I feel like my head was so loud before, just like always. It was just so crazy. Now it's just peace, bro. And it took a lot of work, but I would say, and I'll look at the camera for this one. If anybody out there is struggling with addiction or alcoholism, dude, don't give up, and I could save you a lot of time. Reach out to somebody.
What's the name of your rehab though? I'm gonna know.
Oak Forest Recovery, and you could direct message me, help you, because I know when you're in that state, you need a rehab.
Yeah,
you know, like I could not have done it on my own. So yeah, I mean, I could help you get into a rehab, get into a meeting. They're free and they're all over the world.
With rehabs in that world. Do you know other rehabs? Like, say, if there's someone like watching that's on the East Coast, like, well, I can't make it to the West Coast. Do you know other rehabs in different areas? You can
there's
them with?
rehabs everywhere, but I would just say direct message me if you're out there dealing with addiction, because that's something that I hold so high in my life is helping another person struggling.
Giving back,
yeah, because I know what it's like, man, and it's like a dark spot, dude. Like life is so good, but when you have a family member, a friend dealing with addiction and like the death, and like it's just it doesn't just take the person that's doing the drugs. It's like everyone around them, the family, the friends, the parents. What I put my parents through, and it's like the only disease I feel that it's 100% curable, dude, and you could actually come out of it a way better person. Like, I don't know. I just feel like my life now, I've already been in the gates of hell and have had so many rock bottoms where I can appreciate just a normal day. And I feel if you've never like been through a lot of crazy shit, you just can't, it's hard to appreciate the little things in life, you know, but there's definitely a way out. Never give up. If you like relapsed, it's too embarrassing to get back up, dude. Get back up and just like try.
A lot of the shame. You feel
shame for sure. And that was a big deal for me, dude. Like everyone looking up to me for being sober, falling down, telling people I was lying to them, going to rehab, getting out, fucking up again, going back to rehab, you know, like, but I just kept on doing it. And like, it got me to where I'm at today.
You think this is kind of a weird analogy, but you think like being into sports taught you that behavior of never giving up?
I think so. I mean, definitely, because like being
when you try a trick and you crash,
100%. Yeah. And then motocross, riding bikes is so gnarly. It's like when you eat shit, it's like first time you crash, well, I'm gonna sell my bike. I'm not gonna do it. It's like,
no, you're like, I'm gonna do this.
When I ate shit and almost died and got my spleen taken out, first day in the hospital, I remember asking the doctor, like, how long, when can I get on my bike again? You know? So it's like, oh, he's getting back up. Like,
oh, dude, whenever doctors would tell me like
same thing in
ACL knee surgery, how many months? 6 months. I'd be like, all right, cut that in half. 3 months.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.5. I'll be back at it. But I'm a beast like that. So my mind's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
For sure.
You might have answered this, but you said something earlier that I want to comment before we're done here, is that you said, did you ever find out, like when you're going through therapy, the reasons why you started? Did you ever find that real reason why?
It's funny you say that. Because it was a hard deal. I think like ego was a big one. You know, I don't know. I think for the most part,
the ego kind of thing.
Ego, but I just think it was like that lifestyle. Like it's weird, like the Metal Mulisha, the lifestyle, all this like shit that I was like known for. From the core of who I am, I wasn't this like fucking dude that was like, I was a dickhead in those days, you know, like I didn't care about anyone's feelings and like all the, I don't know, it's just like the lifestyle, dude.
Yeah.
Like trying to maybe be somebody I wasn't, even though like I was that dude, like riding, going big, partying, but it's like from the core, I'm a good person. And I think like that lifestyle and the drugs, it made me into somebody I wasn't. And I don't know, it just like escalated. It got bigger and bigger.
And the ego, right?
The ego was a big one. And being scared of like maybe who I was in the core and like trying to mask who I really was with like the drugs and like not giving a fuck, even though I did give a fuck. You know, but like the drugs made me into kind of somebody I wasn't. And then
you're more fearless now without the helmet.
Yeah.
And the bike.
Yeah, for sure. I mean? Yeah, no, 100%.
I think of that too. Like, cause like when you when you're riding and competing, you know, through the years, all the years, you have your helmet on, you're behind your helmet, you're doing your thing, blah blah blah. But then when you get out there and you're like,
it's a big deal.
It's
scary.
You're more fearless. Like
I mean,
this.
yeah. What I think is like life is way gnarlier than riding. You know, just like every day, there's so much shit that goes on in life. I don't know. The older you get, I don't know. I remember my parents, the older you get, you're going to like look at life different. You know, like now it's like, I just cherish life. I just want to be, I think in the old, you know, back in the day, I'm like, I'll live till I'm 30. I'm going to go big. Fuck, you know, now it's like, no, dude, like I can't wait to be 80, fully covered, all our tattoo. We're going to look super. We're going to look rad when we get older.
I'm getting Motley Crue on my cheek.
But no, dude, like rock and roll for life. And like, dude, it's just life's a journey, and I'm just really happy where life took me. I feel like if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change a thing, man. 100%. No, I really wouldn't, because it led me to where I am right now, and like I have the wife of my dreams, the life of my dreams.
Yeah, I want to talk about that for a second, because I saw when you guys got together in the beginning, I saw instant change in you.
Yeah.
Like I saw a huge, just this glow.
Like I think she was the first person where I was ever to be like 100% honest with, and not like maybe just for show. And it was just somebody that, like I said, she was the first person I didn't want to like date just because of who she was or how hot she was. It was like the true core of her. I don't know, just like something totally new in my life. And dude, our relationship is, I've never had a peaceful relationship in my life, dude, like with no drama.
Do you think that the trauma that she faced with her family and then what you were going through kind of brought you guys together?
Yeah, I think, you know, she's like go on forever, like who she is as a human, but she's been through a lot too.
Yeah, with her family, you were saying.
With her family, you know, and so we have a lot of crazy stuff we've been through, but then we have a lot of peace now. I don't know. It's a lot, but yeah, we've been through a lot, and
you guys just look like you're in love.
Yeah, fully in love, and we just like the peaceful things in life.
Because see, out of the three wives I was married to, I always faked that I was in love.
Yeah, I've been there.
You know,
before,
in the public,
dude.
Yes, my chick.
I've been there before a lot. Trust me.
I'm joking.
No,
my
I love it, bro.
See this and be like, dude, Dad, you're a dick. I'm like, I am sometimes. Sorry.
No, but honestly, dude, like in the 25 years we've been friends, dude, I like truly looked up to you, man. Always.
Vice
like
versa,
just
bro.
for being like who you were, always fired up on life, and now I feel like I got that from
but
like
it's
the
just
inside.
funny because you
and,
guys,
like,
everyone from you, from Masoy, from you know, because people that partied back in the day, probably even everyone thought I was like on your guys' level, and I was not. I was just
that's why I love you, because you have that like that pump for life, dude. It's rad.
Yeah.
It's like Andy Roy, how he is now. He's just so fired up on life, but he's 100% sober.
Yeah,
and it's
great.
like to show people, dude, like I think a lot of time, really quick in addiction, you don't think you can have fun being 100% sober.
You can.
And now, like, dude, going to shows, going to like 100%, it's way more fun than any of the times I've been messed up. Like 1,000%. Waking up feeling good, just like, having a good time.
Because you're living, life's about moments, bro. And when you live in the moment, you enjoy the moment, plan for the future, yada, yada, yada.
100%.
You got to have a great balance. But if your moments are always like delusional or like fuzzy, then it's not really like the real moment.
And you realize who your real friends are too, like when you're 100%
Oh, you probably had a
sober,
bunch
too.
of shady ass people.
It was all shady people, you know, now, and I should have touched on that. Like, it's such a core thing of like in the sobriety world is like who your team is, you know, and like Russ, our good friend.
He's shady.
He's shady. No, he's a shady dude, Russ. But
Russ on wheels is shady as shit, bro.
But he's a guy, like, even in my active addiction, he was a guy I would always turn to. You know, this guy's paralyzed from the neck down, and like I would always go to him and like always be 100% open, and this fucker can like be so pumped on life and he's paralyzed from the neck down, then like, dude, I can put a little bit more work in, you know, and like
he's amazing, man.
He's a very powerful soul, and he's a big part of my life and my journey. For sure.
Did he help with the sobriety as well?
Yeah, helped me a lot. Just being open with. He was like just a dude I never felt I had to lie to, and I just could be myself all the time. And he's helped me a lot for sure.
That's good. That's good.
So yeah, but good show, man. I feel like
I'm glad that this. Yeah. I learned as much as long as I've known you. I feel like I learned some more about you today.
Yeah, I feel like I've done a lot of these, but this I felt the most comfortable. And just like talking on, it felt cool.
Maybe it's the
and
way
like,
I cross my legs. It makes you feel comfortable.
Maybe Ruger.
Ruger's like, what? I'm asleep.
He's sleeping. But yeah, if anybody out there is dealing with, no, he's a big baby, dude. He just looks tough. Ruger.
Treat.
Park is a big one.
Park
and ball.
Oh, I see the ears. Like, who's this guy?
But yeah, if anybody is like dealing with drugs and alcohol addiction, reach out to me, maybe through Instagram, DM me.
Yeah, tell them your Instagram and your everything, your contacts.
Yeah, Instagram mainly just sad.
What is it though?
Colin, COLIN _ Scummy, SCUMMY _ Morrison. MORRISON. And then, I can help you get into Oak Forest Rehab. There's other rehabs out there. There's rehabs. There's just so many options to get your life back. So there's definitely no excuse if you want to get your life back and never give up. Yeah.
I love it. Oh, you know what? Before we leave, remember we did that jump at the Nude Bowl?
Yeah, I still have a stack of those.
Shitload of crap. We should try to sell them.
That was sick. Yeah.
I'm going to post it.
Yeah, that would be a good one for this. We got to do that. That was cool. Yeah, you called me one day and you're like, got an idea. Ramp, you bring a ramp. I'm going to do the...
I was fat then, though, dude.
Sick.
I was fat
No, but
then.
we did good and we nailed it.
I weighed like 200 pounds, bro.
Yeah. No, we should promote that.
I was a fat ass. Can
you look
say
good
that
now.
On here?
You look good.
Yeah, I could say that about myself. I was a fat ass, bro. Hey, so anyhow, dude, okay, stoked. I'm stoked that you're here or that you came here. You told your story. I learned a lot about you. Everyone out there, follow Colin if you're struggling with any kind of addiction. If he could help, like he said, hit him up on his Instagram.
Yep.
DM him. Dude, you're a survivor. I love you, brother.
I love you, Rick.
I'm excited for your future and what you got ahead. And keep going, bro. You don't need me to tell you, but never give up.
Yep. Friends for life. And thank you for all you do. And thank you for having me on, buddy.
You're awesome, dude. And everyone else, thanks for watching. Stay rad.
Stay rad, Ruger.
Everybody ready? Come on, let's go.